box with a living hinge wall on it. But the box itself is a triangle, and so the corners all sort of meet together like a log cabin. So got to edit it just a little bit to shrink it down a bit, and then add a little bit of text because the previous file, for whatever reason, didn't get saved. So yeah, a little bit of work to do, and then get some cutting to do. And then I'll upload it to Thingiverse that you guys can download it, make it yourself as well. So there we go. I'm going to vector all of these cuts. And we're ready to start printing. So I made a slight goof. Wow, it's cutting really rapidly. Well, I've got my speed set way too fast, and I guess I know everything's going to fit on the board, but it's not cutting through. So what I'm going to do is I am going to not do the vectoring on my black, because that's all good. And I just got to drop my speed down on my red and yellow. Print that out, and hopefully that'll be slow enough that it won't do that. What I'm actually going to do, let's go on to the next one. It shows my updated settings here, and hopefully it's actually cutting through this time. Looks like maybe I can even drop the or increase the speed a little bit. And I guess we'll see how that works. And let's try this with a new one. This one didn't turn out. Somehow the lines got disorganized and not aligned. It's also having issues where it didn't go through all the way. So I just basically scrapped that entire chunk of wood now. However, I have readjusted my settings, slightly readjusted how it's inside of here, and I'm going to give it a go number 2. Let's hope it works better this time. And as long as that's running, let's work on creating a new thing. I'm just going to go get rid of my duplicates on here. Like that. So, I'm just going to go save this. Save it on the Maker Vault. And I'm just going to call it Christmas Box. Or, no, it's not. Let's call it Living Hinge Angle Box. That is what I have called my thing. Save that. Then we're going to go find it in here. Living Hinge Angle Triangle Box. There we go. And we're just going to go copy that. Okay. Let me find it. And there we go. I will end up putting some pictures in later on today, so by the time you guys can see it, it'll have some pictures in it. I'm just going to go publish that. There are no image files, that's fine. And there is the web address. So let's hope this is working. And then by the time this video goes up, the Thingiverse will be all up to date on it. So I shall catch you all once it's done cutting, and hopefully it's all working out. So this was not an error on the part of the laser cutter. I remember now I had moved this section all up a little bit because I wanted to get rid of that. And I did that between my first print and then when I told it to just print out the outline, the yellow and the red. And I had moved it in between then, so that is why it's off. This line should actually be down one more notch, which is the same as that gap is. So that is where my issue came in. This looks, you can see here's where the original lines were made, and then the extra lines were made a little higher. So that was all my fault as to why this piece of material is shot. I'll bring it home because we can still salvage stuff out of it, but I'm not going to do laser cutting on it now. Or if I do, it'll just be smaller stuff that I can fit inside so I don't have to worry about those lines. But that was all my fault, not the fault of the machine or the computer. Sneak peek on another project that I'm working on. This is eventually going to end up being the storage system for in the back of my Jeep for when I go camping and overlanding. Eventually I'll get a video of that put together. I haven't really filmed much of me working on it as of right now, but that's because I've just been working with scrap wood that I can find, and I haven't actually bought the couple, or probably one sheet of plywood that I'll need for bits and pieces of it. But let's get over to my Christmas project that I'm working on now. So I've got a couple of boxes that are started to get glued to, there we go, glued together. And then we have the living hinge on the back side. I do have a larger one as well, but that's just too big. It takes up too much wood and takes too long to make. So I shrunk the plans down a little bit, and this newer one that I have is actually a little bit smaller than these ones that I was working on. So I am going to put these off to the side, put them off to the side so I don't mix up the parts, and I'm going to go glue the ones that I was just cutting out today out, and then I shall show you what all these other little bits and pieces are for as well. So without further ado, alright, after my battery dying on me, let's get back to work! Into the case. Alright. Definitely don't need that. Definitely don't need that. these I'll put off to the side. So I don't need them right now either. Here's what I got. So first I'm going to do is just take the rubber bands, because I'm going to need those. And I'm going to need some glue. Assembly on these is rather simple. You take your back piece, one side and another side. Both sides are identical, so you don't have to worry about that. Hold it together. Take one rubber band. You can stretch it across. There we go. Put it across some of those. And then it'll open up with this rubber band. Put glue there, right along the inside edge of there and there. And then you'll use one more rubber band to close the top up, and I'll show you that once I get that glued. And then you position it on here so you can read the Merry Christmas and the Happy New Year on the edges. Rather simple to do. So, as long as you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to try and keep it in the field of vision. You don't want to get any glue up on the top, naturally. If you want, you could sand all these pieces first. I am on a time crunch. So, glue it right on there, and then right along this edge. There we go. And same on the other side. You're really trying to get it into the gaps, because then when you close this up, that's what ends up then making contact. And then you just need one more rubber band, and you'll go across and across, and it's now in place. You don't have to worry about putting another one around here. You could, but you don't have to. So then what I'm going to do right away is I'm going to glue this onto my base, because that'll save me some time. Don't need a lot of glue. I probably put down more than I need. But there we go. What you want to make sure the hinge is on the back side of here. Make sure your text is going to be visible. And the base of it is put together. You can then take your lid, which has no writing on it, put that on top, and apply some weight just to ensure that it sits nicely on the bottom. And that is assembling. So I am going to go move that piece off to the side, grab a new one. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to go finish these up and then show you putting the roof onto my ones that are slightly larger. So I have gotten all of the 4 that I cut out today glued together. Now I'm going to go show you putting the top on, which isn't really any different than the rest of it. You just want to make sure that when you put your rubber band on, you just put it to the bottom tooth and not the top one. This way you can put your glue across it and put the lid on, and you don't have the rubber band rubbing against there. So, we're going to open it up, take our glue, put it right in the corner, probably a little more than I needed there. There we go. One more rubber band. go. And then bead glue along the top. I mean, ultimately you could do whatever you wanted as far as the you know, putting designs or whatnot onto the walls. Right now though, like these two pieces are from different cuts, so the texture doesn't all match, but you then also want to store it upside down. Ooh. You want to store it upside down so that any of the glue on there that drips to the roof and not the bottom portion of it. So I'm going to put that off to the side. Put the lid on, and probably for the bottom too, you can lay it flat and then just slide it right up against like that. And then best if you can get some sort of weight to just keep them clamped together. And there you go. Just gotta wait for the glue to set, and those two are good to go. And now for that bonus extra feature that I was telling you about for all of these parts. Oh, don't forget about those ones. Or those. Or those. Or those two. What these are going to be, let's see if I can quick put one together here for you. Not like that. Not like that either. That goes like that, and then this goes like that. There we go. And that goes like this. So what these are going to be is little supports for in the laser cutters. Right now what I've been using to ensure nice airflow underneath so you don't get as much of this nasty burnt looking stuff, like with this. You'd have all that stuff around the edge. That's because you don't have a spot for the gases to escape from underneath it. So what I've been using as of lately has been a 2x4 that I rip down into separate sections so I can support it on top of that so I get nice airflow underneath it. But this is right where the plywood was sitting on top of that 2x4. So with something like this, when you have your plywood resting on top of it and you're cutting through here, you just have a very small area where it's actually touching it, so you're not going to get a lot of that ugly stuff on the back side of your cuts. And then I've got a bunch of them, so you just spread them all over and put your plywood on top. They'll all be the same height, and you'll have a nice underside cut as well. You could do a 5-sided shape as well. The benefit of doing the 3-sided is you just need those 2 rubber bands, and you know all of your angles are going to be the same. With something that has more than just the 3 sides, you can keep the same length sides and vary the angles. So again, if that's something you want to do, go right ahead and do that. You could also make it 6-sided, like that. It's going to glue together the exact same way. Doing rubber bands around it's going to be a little bit harder because the angles are now bending inward, but you should still be able to either do that or use tape, something like that, or I mean you could even throw on another side, you know, all up to you and the amount of sides that you want to put in to your box that you're making. And you just have to remember that one of these edges needs to be that living hinge section, and you are good to go. So with that, I'm done with this. Take that off, get some better lighting. I shall catch you all next week when hopefully I'll be working on my coat hangers. If not, I'll be working on something else, and that video will come along later. And remember, you can go download these plans from Thingiverse, and don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, because right now I don't have a lot of people that are watching them, and as much as I enjoy making the videos and enjoy woodworking and stuff, it would be nice if other people got to see my artwork as well and could learn from it and make it themselves. So I shall catch you all next week.